Trong cúng ông bà trước khi chơi. Thành niên liên tục có bài khủng.
None of these cards are really saving Silverman.
Bets again, 65,000.
Now does Dan raise or just call and go for all his value on the river?
He calls.
River it is.
230,000 in the middle, Silverman with not much more than that behind. The case jack on the river, quads for Dan Smith.
This is just a horrific card for Silverman. He's now got a full house, and in his mind, he's only losing the aces or kings, which probably would have gotten him 3-bet pre-flop.
Silverman shoves.
Oy.
Call.
Dan Smith calls.
Quick check of the quads.
Get in.
No kidding.
That is just...
WPT Poker Global, uy tín toàn cầu, tặng 2 đến 25 đô cho khách hàng mới.
Dan Smith in the big blind as Queen 6 suited.
Dan's getting good pot odds. A call here would be borderline if he didn't have all the chips in the universe, but he does, so it's totes fine.
So Smith calls as well. We are going three-way to the flop. That flop, 6-9 deuce, second pair for Smith, an up and down draw for Alvarado. Livio still leads with tens.
Livio was the original raiser.
55.
And he's got the most to protect against.
Dan Smith checks to him, Livio bets 55,000.
I don't know that this bet will get either of these players to fold, however.
Alvarado calls.
Livio's actually got 2 blockers to his hand.
Smith calls as well. It's a three-way to the turn.
Calls a little questionable, but Dan's getting stupid pot odds again.
And he hits another 6 on the turn. Trips for the chip leader.
This is a grosser turn than the twist in the crying game. JC is now dead to 4 outs. Dan all but locks his hand up, and no one's really likely to think this card changed anything. Straight. Meanwhile, Dan's got a super disguised monster.
Alvarado calls.
JC was getting an even better price, assuming Dan comes along for the ride. And spoiler alert, he's not folding.
But is he raising? No, he's calling.
Dan overcalls on 3 streets. Gotta wonder if anyone's spidey sense is tingling yet.
Three-way to the river, which is another 6. This is the second time in the tournament that Dan Smith has had quads.
Full houses, just like Livio over there has got.
Smith checks a third time. Livio now checks as well.
Wow, either a very astute player or a guy who's going to lose value a lot of the time. I'm willing to chalk it up to some kind of insane physical read.
Alvarado with the misdraw.
Yeah, but it's a straight flush draw now.
He waves the white flag.
Because Livio somehow has the clairvoyance to check the 6 nuts, Dan Smith gets locked out of the First National Bank of Value, 5th Street branch.
Tham gia giải đấu poker miễn phí, thưởng 12 triệu lúc 19 giờ hàng ngày. Không cần nạp, tạo tài khoản WPT Global là có vé chơi.